Hey, I'm Kelly, and welcome to the show. Imagine it, your wedding day. The music is blasting, the dance floor is packed, and you're lost in the moment with the love of your life. Now that's magic, right? But let's be real, the wedding budgets can get out of hand and fast. You can secure the live music you've dreamed of without breaking the bank. Start by researching average rates for bands in your area, or even contact a few bands for an initial quote. That'll give you a better idea about what this thing is going to cost you. And it'll put you in a stronger position when it comes to negotiating. How in the world are you going to know what to negotiate if you aren't even aware of what's reasonable and what isn't? And now that you have an idea of what the going rate is, let's consider your budget. You need to know exactly how much you have to spend before you start contacting bands and having a full-on discussion. This will help you avoid getting your heart broken when you set on out and find somebody you absolutely love that you can't afford. Timing is everything. First, select one or two bands that you're very interested in. Reach out to them and get an initial quote. Once you've received that quote, that is when you should start thinking about things that you might want to negotiate. Now understand, there's a clear difference between the initial quote, which is an estimate based on the information you provide initially, and the final contracted amount after you have completed your negotiation. Now here's a pro tip. Don't lead with negotiations before establishing a rapport and verifying whether or not the band is even available for your event date. There's no point in going through the whole negotiation process only to later find out that they aren't even available. Lastly, keep in mind the space limitations in your venue. This will help you when you start negotiating the size of the band. Do you even have the room for the orchestra that you have been dreaming about? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Here are specific areas where you can reasonably negotiate with a band that will help you potentially lower the cost of that initial quote that you received. Performance length. Maybe consider having the band play for a shorter portion of the reception, or maybe for only the ceremony or only the cocktail hour. This can significantly reduce your overall cost. The band size. Consider a smaller ensemble, maybe a solo musician, duo, trio, or a quartet. That's certainly going to be less expensive than an entire full band. The date and the time of your event. Look, here's the reality. Weekdays and off-season dates like winter or Sunday through Thursday are typically in less demand, making bands more willing to negotiate on their price. Services and announcements. If you have a friend or family member who's comfortable making those announcements, you can save a little bit of money by not requiring the band to provide MC services. Try combining services, or ask the band if they're willing to combine services or things like that in order to give you a better price. Maybe they're willing to offer discounts if you book multiple events or multiple services, like playing for your rehearsal dinner and the reception, or the ceremony and the cocktail hour. Now that you know what to negotiate, let's talk about how to negotiate effectively. First off, be polite and respectful. No one likes a mean girl. Maintain a positive and respectful tone throughout the entire negotiation process. Be clear about your budget. This will allow the band to offer tailored solutions for you and avoid any misunderstandings down the road. Offer something in return. Referrals to other couples, hiring them for a completely different event down the road, adjust their arrival time or to make it a shorter day for them, offer to provide meals. But most importantly, you've got to know when it's time to walk away. Be prepared to consider other options if you can't reach an agreement that works for the both of you. Red flags. While most bands are professional and reputable, here are a few red flags that you need to watch out for. Beware of contracts that leave you scratching your head and wondering what in the world could possibly be happening right now. If they're vague or unclear, or worse yet, you don't get a contract at all, Maybe the band isn't really willing to nail down any kind of pricing. If they're unwilling or unable to provide any kind of reviews or references about their past performances. Oh, here's a good one. If they're demanding full payment up front, that should be a really big red flag, because most bands will require just an initial deposit, and then the final payment won't be due until you get way closer to the event. Look, at the end of the day, negotiating with wedding bands can seem very challenging, but by following these tips and approaching the process with a little confidence, you can secure the live music you've dreamed of. To help you get started, I've included down in the description a link to a checklist that will help you with key questions that you want to be able to ask a band. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for exclusive content, including a bonus episode that's going to be coming up here, and we're going to be diving deep into those red flags. We've only glossed the surface today. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or simply want to bounce some ideas off an expert, I offer free consultation, and you can find that link in the description below. Now, go forth and plan an unforgettable wedding reception filled with the music you love. Until next time.